You guys already know I swear by motorcycle airbag vest. After my wreck last year, I will not ride without one, period. So when I found out that Alpinestars was dropping a new version of their Tech Air 5, this Tech Air Plasma, I knew I had to check this thing out. Now, I've had this thing for about 2 to 3 weeks now, and I've spent hundreds of miles in it already. And today we're gonna be doing a first look into this, seeing what's different about it from the Tech Air 5. And I'm gonna tell you guys why I think this thing is an absolute game changer. Let's get into it. So guys, I recently got back from the 2025 Yamaha R9 press launch where it was at a full day at the track, and obviously I had the Plasma with me for that shoot. And guys, this thing was so comfortable that there were times throughout the day where we were taking a break and I had my suit like halfway down and eating lunch and stuff like that, and I literally forgot that I had this thing on. That's incredible for a comfort perspective for an airbag vest, but one of the big changes on the Plasma is that it's user rechargeable. So when I got my wreck last year on my Tech Air 5, once I got in the wreck, you can then send it back to Alpinestars. They'll repack it for you, re-put the air canister in and stuff like that, and then they ship it back to you. But with the Plasma, it is user rechargeable, so there's no shipping it off. You can wreck in this thing up to 3 times and only have to recharge it yourself, so pack it in, I guess. Never done that process, and hopefully I'll never have to. But that is a huge deal when it comes to convenience and comfort for an airbag vest. So guys, before we get into the Plasma, I want to talk about why I think airbag vests are fantastic for every single rider out there. I want you guys to think of airbag vests kind of like helmets to your head. There is nothing that can replace the protection you can get on your head with a helmet. Like it's the top level you can get. And there's nothing that can protect your upper body, like your chest, your ribs, and your shoulders, as good as an airbag vest. There's no jacket out there that can give you and offer you that level of protection. Now, as good as the Tech Air 5 was, it did have a couple drawbacks. It was a little bulky depending on what kind of jacket you had on you, and the recharge process did kind of suck because you had that downtime. Like when I got in my wreck, my airbag vest had gone off, so then I had to ship it to Alpinestars, wait for them to get it recharged, and then ship it back. And if you're a rider like me, where you will not ride without your airbag vest, you now have downtime because you're probably gonna be physically good to get back riding right after your wreck because you're wearing the airbag vest, but now you're waiting because you're not gonna ride without having an airbag on. So that kind of sucked. Okay, so let's talk about what's actually new here and how it feels in the real world riding around with it. Now, comfort-wise, the Plasma gets a major upgrade over the Tech Air 5 with the materials they're using being way more flexible and breathable. I've worn this thing all day for multiple days of riding and had no hot spots or anything like that. The amount of flexibility you get with the Plasma while you have it on underneath your jacket is actually kind of crazy. Next up, and I know we've touched on it a couple times, but is the user rechargeability. Guys, this is huge, especially for certain type of riders like guys that do a lot of track days, and I could see ADV riders. Guys that are in situations where you're probably gonna be going down more than other people just riding on the street. Track riders, you're gonna be pushing your limits, and if you find that limit and you go down, this is there to handle it. When you're riding ADV, not necessarily on the street, but when you do off-roading, which this vest has a entire mode for off-roading, you're probably going to be going down more than the average person, which means it's going to get deployed more often. Now, the Plasma is able to get recharged by you up to 3 times before you have to send it in for like an official recharging, but all you have to do is have a gas canister and you can literally repack it there yourself. For those style riders that have the higher potential of going down more often, this thing is going to be a night and day difference over the Tech Air 5, where you could literally only use it the one time and then have to send it off. So if you're one of those style riders, this should be a major deal for you. Another cool thing that they added with the Plasma is a dedicated on-off button. The way I've been using this a lot is when I travel for press launches, I'm able to put it in the off position, and that way I know for sure it's not going to be firing off when it's in a plane. But that being said, I've also traveled with the Tech Air 5 and I never had a problem because these things only arm when you zip it up and the magnetic closures like touch each other. So I've never had that happen, but having the on-off feature is kind of nice and gives me a little peace of mind that I don't have to worry about anything happening with it when I have it in the off position. Next up, one of the really cool features with this thing is the ability to change its modes without the app. So if you guys have never had a Alpinestars Tech Air product, these things run an algorithm. That's how it knows when to inflate. So with Tech Air 5, you can pull up Alpinestars app and you can change what mode the airbag is in. That just lets it know exactly what kind of forces it's looking for. Now, I never had a problem because I kind of just kept the thing in street mode all the time. But with the Plasma, you have 3 modes. You have off-road, you have track, and you have street. And now you don't need the app at all to change the modes. There's a little button on the lower side. You hold that button for 2 seconds and you can literally see on the little lights, it'll light up into a different mode, and you can also see what battery charge it's at down there. Now, I feel like the app is still pretty cool because you can literally like update the device if you wanted to over the app. But if you're in a situation where you don't have your phone on you or you don't want to have to deal with the app, you can now do it all on the device and you don't have to have an app, which is pretty cool. Now, I know a lot of you guys might be asking, if this thing is so much more comfortable and breathable, does that mean it's sacrificing on its protection? And absolutely not. Just like the Tech Air 5, the Tech Air Plasma is still gonna cover important areas like your ribs, your chest, your back, and your shoulders. And it even comes with a Nucleon, hold on, what's the word? Nucleon Plasma Back Protector, which might be one of the greatest names you can have for a back protector, but that's built in, so your entire upper body is going to be absolutely covered with this thing. Finally, battery life wise, this thing is good for 30 hours of riding, and it can easily and conveniently be charged with a USB-C plug. There's no proprietary anything, you just plug a USB-C in, and it even comes with a charger that you can use. Alpinestars, thank you for putting USB-C in a product. Too many companies are not doing that, and we all just need to accept that USB-C is the way to go and put USB-C in it. So thank you. Okay, so let's talk about some real world usability with the Plasma. I've had this thing for a few weeks now, and I've got to use it on a decent amount of first rides at this point, my motorcycle reviews, and I've got to do it at the Yamaha R9 press launch, which is a full track day. So on the street, it's been fantastic. Now, to be clear, this part of the year, it's pretty cold outside, so I've been wearing pretty bulky jackets, which is I'm wearing a couple underlayers, and then I'm wearing the airbag vest, and then I got my jacket on top of that, so I'm layered up quite well. So I haven't really tested this thing's breathability in hot scenarios. Maybe I can do like a long-term test like midsummer or something like that, and I can let you guys know how it's holding up. I feel really promising about it based on how it's been feeling so far, but breathability is not really something I've been cared about lately. I've been trying to keep the heat in. But the thing I can tell you is the maneuverability of this thing under your gear has been amazing. I will note that I have a bad upper shoulder. I got in a wreck, a decade ago, and the shoulder's just never been the same. Now, with my Tech Air 5, if I spent 6 hours on the bike at one time, I would start getting fatigued in my shoulder with the Tech Air 5 on because of, I guess, the shoulder pad or something like that. But I have spent multiple 8+ hour days wearing this thing and have had no shoulder issues. So selfishly, that's fantastic for me. I don't know if you guys have the same issue or something like that, but that has been way more comfortable as far as I'm concerned. Now, as far as track experience, I am very happy to say that this is gonna make me sound so fat, but I'm happy to say that the Plasma actually fits on me underneath my tracksuit. So unfortunately, I like my tracksuits to be like really tight to me, and the Tech Air 5 was too thick in the back, and it would cause my tracksuit to not be able to zip up. So I never was able to wear it under my tracksuit. Now, I am on this little weight loss path right now, so I don't know if it was a combination of losing a little bit of weight or if it was a combination of that plus the Plasma being so much tighter and fit and more comfortable, but I was able to actually wear the Plasma underneath my tracksuit for the entire press launch of the R9, and I got in my tracksuit at 9 o'clock. I got out of the tracksuit at, I think, 5:30. So that's how long I was just in the suit with the airbag vest on, and I had no issues at all. There were some times where, I wouldn't be able to reach directly up when I had the Tech Air 5 on, so I have very much been able to see a big change in, I guess, maneuverability while wearing the Plasma. and it's been fantastic. And the fact that I can wear it under my tracksuit just makes me feel so much safer on track, and I love the fact that I literally can't feel it. I literally cannot feel that I have it on when I have my tracksuit on, and it's been awesome to wear an airbag vest with a tracksuit. So, fat boys rejoice, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, so let's talk about who the ideal rider is for the Plasma. Now, just to be clear, I think everybody needs to be wearing airbag vests. If for some reason you don't like Alpinestars, like go find another airbag vest. But I think everybody needs to be riding an airbag vest. I think it is literally like it should revolutionize the motorcycling industry. So all of you guys, please invest in an airbag vest. But there are two specific riders that I have in mind that I think would massively benefit off this. One is the new rider. You guys are never going to have a higher likelihood of getting in an accident than you are when you are just starting out. So you need the most protection possible. This is why I tell new riders, like, do not spend all your money on a motorcycle and then you can't afford gear. Buy a motorcycle that allows you the funds to purchase a full set of gear so that you can keep riding and keep riding safely, God forbid anything happens. But if you have a higher likelihood of going down or getting in a wreck, get an airbag vest. I know it's a lot of money. These things are not cheap, but you guys will be shocked at how well they work if you're unfortunate enough to get in a wreck. So new riders, definitely if you're looking into motorcycles, maybe try to find a bike that's a little cheaper and you can invest that money into gear that's gonna keep you safer riding long term. Okay, the next rider that I really think would benefit about this is the guys we were talking about earlier. The constant track day guys and the guys doing off-road and ADV. Basically, I look at those two riders as pushing limits, and when you push limits, you F around and find out, essentially. And if you go down, you need to be able to be safe so that you can continue riding or continue getting out. Like in an ADV scenario, if you go down, you have an airbag vest, you go down, you're safe, and now you can get out of wherever environment you're in. Track day riders are a little different because you're gonna go down in a safe environment, but still you're gonna go down. So hopefully not, just clear. I hope you guys don't go down, but in the event you do. Those are the two riders that I really feel like would benefit about this a lot because one, it's comfortable. So, you know, a tracksuit's not the most comfortable thing, so you don't need anything added making you less comfortable. Yeah, you don't need to add anything to that discomfort, and then you're gonna be going down multiple times probably, so having something that you can easily use a recharge is fantastic. Now, you ADV dudes, y'all gonna be riding everything. You know what, no, we gonna be riding everything because I'm an ADV dude too. Can I be part of the group? Thanks. We're riding in different scenarios, right? The whole ADV thing, you're not scared of the weather, you're not scared of where you're going, you're just taking it on. And when you do that, you're going down roads you've never gone down, you're exploring. And when you're exploring, you are going to probably have a higher likelihood of going down, especially on the off-road with a bigger bike and stuff like that. So when you have that situation, you're gonna be riding for long days, you need it to be breathable, you need it to be comfortable, and you want to be able to go down multiple times and still have the same object that you can recharge and go back out the literal next day if you want to. Maybe you're going on a huge trip. Carry an extra gas canister. If anything happens, you recharge it on your trip. It's a fantastic thing for ADV riders. So basically, it's the two extremes, right? If you're a new rider, you're over here, you're more dangerous because you don't really know what you're doing. Or you're a really advanced rider and you're pushing your limits more and stuff could happen. You need breathability and rechargeability. I think those two groups would absolutely benefit from this airbag vest, and I've loved it for all of those situations. I guess not the new rider situation, but the situations over here. So let's talk about pricing real quick. These things are not cheap. I've already said that. The Tech Air Plasma is coming in at around $800. Now, that is gonna put it a little more expensive than the Tech Air 5, but it is going to come in less than the Tech Air 10 system that Alpinestars also offers. I honestly think while that is a lot of money, these things are an investment. This is not something you are gonna buy, use it for a riding season, and then never use it again. You can use it every single ride you go go on, and it's always gonna be your safety vest. I guess, actually, a safety vest. With this though, you get the push button or mode changing where you don't have to use an app, you get the user rechargeability, and you get the absolute comfort. And for all of that, I feel like it is well worth it to grab this thing. So guys, if y'all been looking into airbag vests, but you've been holding off because they didn't seem that comfortable or they seemed like a pain to deal with after a crash, the Plasma is definitely one of the airbag vests you definitely need to be looking into. Now, this is only a first look. I've only had a few weeks in it, but what I plan on doing is that full review maybe towards the end of the summertime, where I've had a full summer to ride in it on every single ride that I go on. And that way I can give you guys a more comprehensive long-term review of how it's held up and how it does in situations where I need to be as breathable as possible. If you guys have any questions about the Plasma, drop them in the comments and I will try to either answer them or I'll add them to the full review and I'll give you guys the answers. Then I've been Chaseontwowheels. I appreciate you guys watching this video. If you guys want to check out the Plasma, I'll have a link for it in the description down below. If you guys click that link in the description down below, it is an affiliate link. I get a little kickback and you guys don't pay anything extra. So thank you guys so much if you use that link. And let me know guys what you think about the Plasma in the comments down below. I'm Chaseontwowheels. I will see y'all on the next one. Later. Also, thank you Alpinestars for sending me out the Plasma early before it came out. Big shout out. By the way, Alpinestars did not pay for this video. I made it on my own because I think airbag vests are awesome. They only sent me the vest without me paying for it. That is all that happened. They haven't even seen this video or even know this video is coming out. Surprise!